Welcome to the Custom Vantage Office video on user preferences. Now, if you watched the previous video on security users, and if you haven't, I recommend doing so, you understand why this particular user, whom we're logged in as under here, Bob, has no access to certain menu items. But he does have access to his user preferences. Now, I want to point out three things. One, as I went to this top menu, the main menu that was here disappeared. The second thing is the dashboard that popped up when you first logged in needs to be addressed. And the third thing is Bob, not being an administrator, has no access to the security users menu option, as discussed in the previous video. Now, under user preferences, there are a great many things that can be determined by Bob for his own ease of using the system. First thing is we can say keep the start menu visible. So what that means is for now on, that main menu, start menu, will not disappear every time something else is clicked. And where do we want it to start? If Bob's in customer service, then we want it to start on customers and sales. If I were the purchasing manager, I might want it to start on vendors and purchasing, etc. So it allows you to determine which part of the start menu comes up as default. Under system, the dashboard. Now this is where we can make it so that the dashboard does not show up on startup. Bob has nothing in his dashboard, doesn't want it to show up, he can uncheck the box. And this allows to determine whether or not that start menu appears when we first log in. As far as the desktop goes, Bob is able to determine what the background of his desktop is. So we can apply that change, and notice that the default blue background changes to. Under themes, we can select what the screens look like. So if I go to various screens, you will see that they change the tabs, they change the elements look and feel, but they do not change functionality. So you get to, as a user, determine what the screen looks like. So it is appealing to you. An end user also gets to determine their own shortcuts, in other words, keyboard shortcuts, printing preferences, set up their day planner. Email preferences is where you'll set up so that you can send emails from Custom Vantage Office, such as statements, quotes, orders, invoices, etc. So all of this will be filled out to match your email server settings. The from and to, you can set up a default subject line that says anything you wish. If you use these little tokens down at the bottom, bracket, bracket, type, bracket, bracket, or bracket, bracket, control number, bracket, bracket, it will replace with what is actually there. So, for example, if my subject said, here is your, and I put bracket, bracket, type, and you must put it in exactly as it appears below, and then I wrote number, bracket, bracket, and notice this is upper and lower or camel case, and then close bracket, bracket. So what this would do is in the subject line say, here is your invoice or quote, or etc. It would replace the type of document number, and it would give the order number. So if this said, here is your order number 1234. And then finally, the Corel Draw version and path for files. So if we're using Corel Draw version 2019, here's where the Corel Draw files get stored. This should be a UNC path, not a mapped drive path. So in other words, I wouldn't put z : whatever. I would put the UNC path, which is / CVO server / CVO share. And then within that, so these would all end up the same, but within that, we might also have a folder called clip art, and another folder for the batches, etc. Once all of that is configured, we click OK, and Bob is now set up and ready to run. Now, once I turn on the Start menu, whenever another option is clicked, the Start menu remains. Thank you for using Custom Vantage Office.